The Second Amendment gives citizens the right to bear arms to defend themselves against their state or country. The amendment dates back to the English Bill of Rights, which was passed in 1689 to outline people's right to defend themselves. During the early years of American settlement, people kept muskets for militia service. Militias were meant to defend their communities as an act of police force when needed, and to protect themselves against Native American attack. Controversy over what the Second Amendment really means has been going on for many years. In 2008, the Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment, in fact, applies to individuals, not just militias. In 2010, in the McDonald v. Chicago Supreme Court case, the Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment limits both state and local governments to the same extent as that of the federal government's over guns. Controversy over what the Second Amendment really means has been going on for many years. In 2008, the Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment, in fact, applies to individuals, not just militias. In 2010, in the McDonald v. Chicago Supreme Court case, the Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment limits both state and local governments to the same extent as that of the federal government's over guns. Life without the Second Amendment would not be the same. Many people bear arms for protection against others and use them for means of self-defense. This liberty helps protect the citizens of the United States protect themselves when government forces can't. The possession of guns helps to limit crime and reduce criminal activity. The Second Amendment is an important part of American freedom and history.
The Sixth Amendment is about criminal justice trials, and it guarantees the right for accused people to have a speedy trial and a public trial for the crime they committed. The Sixth Amendment was proposed on August 25, 1789, and it was ratified on December 15, 1791. And it was passed by the Founding Fathers because they wanted the accused to have basic rights. That's good. Without the Sixth Amendment, we would not have the rights for any trial. If we committed a crime, we would have to go through harsh punishment, which includes execution almost immediately. And
the 23rd Amendment gave people who lived in Washington, D.C. the right to vote for representatives and the Electoral College. And the Electoral College chooses our next president. The historical background of the 23rd Amendment is, at first, Washington, D.C. was home to only 5,000 people because it was not deemed a state. Residents had no right to vote in federal elections, and they did not even have local government. The 23rd Amendment gives them that vote. It does not make Washington, D.C. a state. Without the 23rd Amendment would not affect the country as a whole, but it will mostly just affect people that live in Washington, D.C. because they would not have the right to vote.
The Second, Sixth, and 23rd Amendment are important parts of American history, and without them, the United States would not be the same as we know it today.